most businesses I can go into from a marketing perspective and be like, you did miss out here, here, here. And so a lot of times as a business owner, you're trying to minimize the missing out. Getting that picture of what's going on in your organization starts in Google Analytics. I always advocate for having Google Analytics on there. Yeah, it's free. Having a backup tracking system that is functional, even if it's not your primary, have it. Holiday seasons, things break. Amazon went down during Cyber Week for Seller Central. Nobody's going to go into Cyber Week saying, oh, servers on Amazon Seller Central are going to go down. I'm going to be flying blind for 3 days. I mean, it was crazy. Talk about increasing your stress level. As you're looking at analytics, you have to make sure that you're tagging traffic correctly. There are so many things that can go wrong in analytics that at least it's like the blocking and tackling of analytics is making sure that if you're sending traffic to your site from Facebook, that it's going into the Facebook bucket. If you're sending traffic from an email list, a lot of times email can go into direct traffic, and it can really skew your results as you're doing analysis and making your analyzing way more difficult than it needs to be. You really can't over tag your traffic. The more information you put into analytics now, your future self is really going to thank present self.
It's interesting how this always comes back to having the right data.
Most companies don't even know they're missing out because they're just, hey, we spent $50,000 on Facebook and our business is growing. Don't know why, don't know how. I'm like, okay, well, what if you could be getting the same thing for $30,000 and therefore you just added $20,000 to the bottom line? Or what if you should be spending $250,000 because you could grow 10x?
If you have that traffic, where do you suggest people look?
Start by analyzing year-over-year data because you need to avoid seasonality. Also, when you have holidays that aren't fixed in a calendar month, you need to make sure that you've adjusted for that in your year-over-year analysis. So it's not just compared to the previous year in analytics. Like, for example, Cyber Monday this year is in November, and so almost every e-commerce business is going to be up in November, but then December might have struggles. Once you get there, I always start with direct traffic. So these are the people that come to your site, that know you, that have heard of you, but this is generally pretty consistent, stable traffic if it's tagged correctly. Make sure you don't have emails showing up there or referrals from PayPal.
If people don't know what we're talking about, can you explain that really quickly? Because it's like the plague of analytics. Probably
60% of the time I look at an analytics account, it's sitting in there. You should be using PayPal probably on your site to let people transact. PayPal though, you go out to PayPal and then PayPal sends them back to your site once the transaction's done. And so if you look in your referral traffic and you see X number of dollars coming from PayPal, either you're really cool and PayPal likes you for some reason, they're sending you a bunch of customers that were already on your site.
Not happening.
Not happening. But probably you haven't excluded PayPal from your referral traffic, so analytics is counting that. So you just have to add a referral exclusion. And so everybody should have a default referral exclusion for your own site so that if you open new tabs or do various things, your site is not sending yourself traffic because it takes credit from other channels that should be getting that traffic. And PayPal, once you've got clean data, you've looked at year-over-year traffic, let's just say your direct traffic is up 10% year-over-year for revenue. You can see direct traffic up 10%, revenue up 10%, that's great. That's my consistent barometer. If you have a marketing channel that you are investing in that is growing at a slower clip than your direct traffic, I would at a high level say you are missing out. Either you're not aggressive enough, you're not spending enough, your goals are off, but something is wrong, and that's where a red flag goes up and says, hey, let's dive into this in a little more detail. You haven't kept up with just the general growth of your site. And for 99.999% of all businesses, you are not leading the entire industry. And so your industry is growing and you're playing at a piece of that, and you should be able to outpace your direct traffic growth for channels that you're spending money on for marketing. Most business owners have bad goals. On non-brand traffic, on search and shopping, you should be breaking even. Capture customers and don't look at Google ads as a profit center. Look at it as a customer acquisition channel. You are paying for customers, and if you can break even, you're getting free customers at the end of the day. You're not getting profit on them on this one. You can get that later, but customer acquisition. The real cool data and the things that I like to see, the small details of that give me an indication that, yes, I'm doing really well, or I really did miss out on this, is a search query report. Still probably my favorite report in all of digital marketing. Seeing what people are actually typing into Google, what you're showing for, what you're getting clicks for, and what's actually converting. And then the revenue attached to that, the ROI attached to that. Google's gradually taking away that more and more. Smart shopping doesn't give you search queries. So that's another reason I don't like smart shopping. And I would tell you, if you are using smart shopping, most of the time you're leaving something on the table. So you should have some FOMO because you are missing out, whether it makes sense to hire an agency to break that out and create campaigns for you or not, or your budget's maybe not even high enough to move out of smart shopping. That's fine. Just know that you are leaving it on the table. Get your goals in the right spot. Push shopping down to that goal. And then I even recommend go a little bit beyond that. Lose money a little bit to see how much market is out there, because you won't really know that until you've actually pushed the boundaries on that.
So if I have FOMO, just spend more, see what happens, and then it will help me calibrate.
Once you're in motion, you can direct it. We're going to go bang our head against the wall a few times as we move, but at least we're moving towards something and you can direct it. Like if I'm going right towards you, that's my goal, but I'm right over here. Well, I can direct myself back. But if I'm just standing here trying to come to you before I launch, it's like...
Yeah, as a business owner, you know as well as I do that sometimes just taking the next step, progress is all that matters. Right? If you just stand still, you're going to lose. But if you just keep moving, you don't even have to make... Every decision is not going to be the right decision, right? So you don't even have to be heading in the right direction. You can course correct later, but you have to be moving. And those are the folks who win.